If you're expecting a classic retelling of the Mary Shelley novel that is obscenely famous, this isn't really the movie for that. Hello once again, watchers of good movies. My name is Nick Pell, and this is once again coming from my basement. So today we're going to be talking about the film Victor Frankenstein. This is the first of probably 3 reviews that I'll be doing over the course of this holiday weekend. So bear with me. The film stars Daniel Radcliffe as Igor, and the film is very much in his perspective, which is a thing that I actually liked about this film. We are introduced to Igor as this circus clown, this hunchback circus clown who is brilliant at science, particularly anatomy and human physiology. That type of thing is something which interests him and that he's really good at. And he, one day, comes across Victor Frankenstein as he is trying to save this woman that he loves who is critically injured. And they form a partnership, and we have our film. So seeing the film actually through Igor's perspective instead of just strictly through Victor Frankenstein's, I actually really enjoyed that. It does kind of diverge a little bit, so it's not in his perspective for the entirety of the film. But when Victor Frankenstein is not with Igor, we don't see him. And so I actually kind of like that because it gave Frankenstein a little bit more mystery to him. Frankenstein's personality, James McAvoy does this just really, really well. He has this kind of quirky personality to him, and I really enjoyed him in this first hour of the film because he's got this kind of odd social appearance to him, but you can tell that he is just very passionate about trying to create life from death or from nothing in many cases. And I thought that his personality kind of fit the character quite nicely, and it was a good kind of thing to bounce off of Igor. Now, throughout the course of the film, 2 creatures are created. One is more animalistic and one is more human, but neither really have a huge significance. The main human Frankenstein, the creature from the novel and that everyone knows, doesn't even really have any significance to the plot, doesn't appear until the last 20 minutes of the film, and it's just a very disappointing way to kind of conclude it because they could have just skipped the whole first creation and gone right to the human and then actually focused on the creation that they made, given that creature some sort of personality like in the novel. And I would have really liked it if it actually had followed some pacing and some sort of actually structure from the actual novel. I would have really appreciated that. They could make their own little twists and turns and everything, but if it had followed that kind of structure, given the creature some sort of humanity to him, I would have really enjoyed that. But it doesn't, and the film focuses strictly on Igor and Victor Frankenstein trying to create life out of death, and then the kind of complications which go about because of that. The film for the first hour is actually very enjoyable because we get to see this motivation, this drive, which just moves these characters. The third act is just so tonally different, and it just is very slow until the last 20 minutes that it just doesn't really do a lot. And I actually found myself quite bored because of it. This one is also, I was under the assumption of at least, supposed to be part of the shared monster universe. So Dracula Untold from last year was supposed to be the first film in this, and then this was supposed to be the second one. There is no connection to Dracula Untold that at least I could tell throughout the entirety of the film. Charles Dance, who was in Dracula Untold, he is also in this film as Victor Frankenstein's father. And so I thought that could have been a very cool way to kind of show the motivations that Victor Frankenstein has for why he's trying to create life out of death. If his father is a vampire, and spoiler, his father is a vampire in Dracula Untold, if Charles Dance is playing the same character, that would have been a fantastic motivation for why he, as a human, is trying to create this thing. He's seen his father just be this immortal creature, and he wants to also be able to accomplish that for the everyday human. That would have been a fantastic way to connect the two, even if there aren't actual character connections and doesn't really use a lot from Dracula Untold. I would have loved seeing that because it would have fit in and it would have allowed this film to be its own movie. It just doesn't do that, and I was very disappointed when nothing was really dealt with in regards to Charles Dance. He's in the movie for maybe 5 minutes, and then you never see him again. There's also no end credits scene, just during the credits either, and So I was hoping at least there'd be something in regards to that, maybe Luke Evans showing up or something, but nothing whatsoever. And yeah, it bugged me a bit in that regard. The ending is also just kind of weak, honestly. There's like a small setup for a sequel or for this huge collaboration film, if there is one that actually occurs because of these two and more films. The ending itself, the whole confrontation, takes maybe 5 minutes, and it's just very disappointing. And I think part of that is because there was just so much potential for the creature had been actually created within the first hour of the movie, and just seeing the dilemma that Igor, Frankenstein, and the creature kind of go through in like deciding, oh hey, I created life out of death. What are the ramifications with that whole situation? And I don't know. I've seen movies do it a lot better than this film did, and I was honestly just kind of disappointed with the whole film ultimately because of that. So, yeah, I mean, Victor Frankenstein, it's fine as a movie if you're not really expecting a whole lot, but I think that Creed and Good Dinosaur are going to be much better quality films this weekend if you had the opportunity to go to them. But those are just my thoughts, guys. Let me know yours in the comments down below. Did you like the film as much as I did? Did you hate it more than I did? Let me know. Like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. Once again, if you so choose, I appreciate it immensely. And as always, Marine people, my name is Nick Pell, and once again, keep on watching.